For this special milestone episode, I wanted to discuss the importance of media in shaping positive ideas. It's something that is frequently on my mind as I've watched things like online video and social media evolve over the past decade. The sharing of opinions and ideas is something that is more plentiful than ever, and you can reach a wide audience with this. Sometimes you might be looking for someone who shares your own views or someone who presents a different perspective in an enlightening way. You also have the opposite, where someone seeks out people sharing negative views because they find that sort of thing entertaining. Now, I'm not referring to legitimate criticism and analysis. I like hearing Siskel and Ebert talk about films they dislike, even when I disagree, because they still brought some element of knowledge to the table. There was also a semblance of wit in their discussions. However, they also devoted a large amount of time bringing attention to movies they loved. If Siskel and Ebert saw a film that especially resonated with them, like Schindler's List, Pulp Fiction, or Fargo, they would spend more time gushing about their merits than they would some D-grade comedy they didn't find amusing, or an action film they were bored by. Something I've noticed on YouTube is a growing subsection of channels that primarily focus on negativity and blasting something to pieces. CinemaSins is probably one of the more infamous, with its frequent nitpicking of movies and making a big deal out of something minor. A lot of people love those videos and see them as comedic rather than critical, but I just don't get much joy or endearment in seeing someone purposely misunderstand or misrepresent a piece of media, like the CinemaSins channel often does, or get worked up because a character eats an apple in a scene. An element of this culture I especially don't understand are videos that go on for several hours about a piece of media they hated. If you want to vent for 5 minutes or even 10 minutes, I understand. But 8 hours about how you hated The Last Jedi, or Batman vs. Superman, or Steven Universe, or Police Academy 3 Back in Training? When you think about the time that person would have to take to write, record, edit, and upload all of that, I just have one question. Why? That seems like a lot of energy to spend on a piece of entertainment that just did not gel with you. Frankly, it sounds exhausting and not all that fun. There have been movies I've heavily criticized, but I usually say my piece once, and then I move on and keep returning to the things I love. And when I do rewatch a movie I previously disliked, my hope is that I appreciate it a lot more on this go-around. There's so much media out there, from films to books to television shows to music, many of them available at your fingertips. Why spend so much time harping on the ones you hate? This is especially notable with franchise installments. Think about how many times someone has blasted Batman and Robin. Yes, many found it a disappointing chapter in the famous DC superheroes' history. I don't care for it myself, but it was one film, and we've gotten how many films with The Dark Knight since then, or even beforehand? I also don't think we realize the influence we might have on our viewership. I remember seeing on CinemaSins videos comments like, "I don't watch the movie, I just go to the CinemaSins video and judge it off that." That is a terrible way to engage with media. There's a reason I often ask at the end of a which is better or review of a film to give your own thoughts and comments on something, because I am genuinely interested in what you have to say about it. If you're ranty and yelling in your videos, well, that will genuinely be reflected back in the attitude featured in your comments. But if you're calm and you explain your points in a manner that's actually constructive and respectful, so will most of the comments you receive. I actually find the most frustrating reviews are not those where I disagree with a person's opinion on a piece of media. What I find the most frustrating are those that whine about something inconsequential, or when the person did not seem like they were actually paying attention when watching the movie, or when they're just plain disrespectful to the creators and making demands of how they should change their work. Those can be bothersome to read or watch. Ultimately, what I find far more enjoyable to do is talk about the entertainment that I love, as that often gives me a lot more to talk about and chew on than something I watched that did not land with me. Anyway, now that I've said my stance on the matter, here are some really talented video makers I've asked to contribute their own perspective on this. First up is Justin Wilton, from the channel Cinephile Studios.
Hi, I'm Justin, and I've been watching Mr. Coates' videos for over a decade now. I know we enjoy negative reviews, basically the structure that was developed by Roger Ebert and Gene Siskel, and then later on the internet by people like the Angry Video Game Nerd, the Nostalgia Critic, and there's humor in those negative reviews. But as time's gone on, and my love for movies has grown, I've actually come to appreciate the videos that focus more on the positive aspects of films, especially ones that can look within typically bad movies and find something really good to say about them. I've been influenced by Mr. Coates' optimism in his work, and since then I have found other channels with similar tastes. I love the work of Alex Carson, Oliver Harper, Chris Stuckman, who's also gone more an optimistic route in recent years rather than focusing on the bad movies, and other channels that do things besides movies, like Defunctland and Yesterworld. Positive reviews have stuck with me a lot longer than the negative reviews. In fact, a lot of negative reviews tend to have the same kind of nitpicks or criticisms, whereas positive reviews, even for movies that maybe I don't like, they always manage to find something within the film that maybe I didn't catch before. They make me want to revisit the movie and give it a new appraisal. And as I've done my own work, I've noticed that I enjoy talking about good movies a lot more than bad ones. I have more to say, more unique things to say about good films. And I'm well aware of the internet culture that's out there. Do I really need to hear for the 1000th time why something like the newest Transformers movie is bad, or why something like the newest Terminator movie is bad? Why not point out something good about them? Tell us something about the movie that we didn't catch before that you like. We all know the bad stuff, but what is it about some movies that make them good? And this goes for good movies too. Sometimes you can have a completely unique perspective on a good movie that everyone already knows is good. Maybe somebody can watch Casablanca and have a completely new take on it. That's what I'm interested in. And overall, I think that's more necessary to the internet, especially right now.
Next is Tuneriffic Tariq from his channel, the same name.
Toonriffic headed off Kiki fan club, Family Guy apologist, and Positive Poppy. If you don't know me, I'm Tuneriffic Tariq. I do videos about animation. I consider my channel like an animation appreciation channel, and I try to always focus on things that I like, things that I always really enjoy. And when I made that conscious decision, it was mainly because I just kind of looked around me and I saw my peers just like ragging on things and calling them the worst thing ever. At a certain point, at what point do you step back and realize that producing positive videos and putting positivity out there not only is best for the audience, but it's best for you. It's best for your mental health. Sitting down and analyzing and picking apart and editing just something that you just truly do not like is a waste of time. Why would you want to not contribute something? Why would you not want to make the world a happier place than how you found it? I think it's always important to keep in mind, no matter what it is we're talking about, whether it be a song or a cartoon, a television show, a movie, whatever, there are always people behind it. There are always human beings behind it. People spent time away from their families to put this package together in the best way that they knew how. And that's not to say that things don't go without criticism or that everything that you say has to be positive, right? You don't have to be overly joyful. But I do think there is a nice medium in being constructive and nice. You don't have to be mean about it. My cat is like doing the thing where like they put their paws under the door. It's like messing with my train of thought. I just think that the output that you put into the world, it's a reflection of you. It's a reflection of who you are. It's a reflection of your person. What you give us is you. With all of the bad stuff going on in the world, you never know what your positive energy can do to someone. You can end up being their light. And while I can't guarantee that it'll bring you like fame or like a whole bunch of views and you'll be the most popular person on the face of the earth, I can't promise that. But I am positive that being positive will make you feel positive.
The next video maker I've invited is David Gansel, hosts the channel Dawkins.
My name is David Gansel, and I tend to make videos about things I enjoy and want to share with other people. I think the internet's tendency to default to cynicism and negativity is understandable and sometimes warranted. There are a lot of evils in the world that do need to be called out, but I think that it's far too easy for people to get swept up in the negativity and forget to share positive things as well. And I find it so much more rewarding and gratifying to talk about things I love than things I hate. And my sense of humor does lean towards the snarky, so I'm always going to poke gentle fun at the things I do love, or I might contrast it from the things I don't like to show how I think the things I love do it better. But I think there's so much potential on the internet to share joy and goodwill that often goes overlooked in favor of spreading cruelty. And I want to do what I can to make sure that there's a better balance between those in the world. I'm not saying that speaking negatively is inherently bad. I just think only being negative all the time is not super healthy. And I think remembering that there's the potential to find shared good experiences and create communities around common loves, I think that is one of the best things about the fact that the internet puts us in touch with everyone. And I just hope people don't lose sight of that when it comes to just focusing on the negative instead.
And my final guest today is Morgan Ledger, who hosts the show Vaulting.
Whenever I think about ending episodes of my show, I often question what to do. Do I end it in an enlightening manner, or do I end it on a joke? Because I feel like the more important thing is knowing how your audience wants to feel right at the end of the show. And for me personally, I feel like it's important to end with that positive feeling. Not so they can, keep coming back to you, but just so they feel enlightened, better about the world around them. Because there's no limits what you can do in an internet video. It can be a sketch, it can be a discussion of a movie or something you're passionate about. But at the end, you want your audience to feel enlightened and uplifted. If they've had a good day or a crummy day, you in return provide what they're looking for. Something to escape from, or just something to give them a laugh and a smile about. And I believe that is very crucial when you're entertaining someone. You want to leave them on a good note, because then that will spread further to even more people that are looking for a laugh and a smile to hang on to, especially in today's time. And I feel that's very, very important to me when doing my show. You want to leave your audience on a good feeling. You never want to leave them with a cliffhanger or some feeling that the world is a terrible place. And it's true that positives can't live without the negativity, but either one don't cancel out each other. But at the end of the day, it's how you want to treat your audience. And for me personally, I would love to leave them enlightened and feel better about themselves. That just spreads a lot more positivity that way.
Thank you to everyone who participated in this special milestone episode. I was really glad to have all of you here today. And to the rest of you watching this, I would love to know your own thoughts on this topic too. Leave your comments. Thank you for the continued support, and I'll see you next time.